Imagine a kingdom where kings ruled not for power, but for justice. A dynasty that claimed descent from the sun itself. A royal family whose legacy inspired countless generations, gave birth to some of the greatest rulers in Indian tradition, and produced one of the most revered figures in world history, Lord Rama. This is the story of the Ikshvaku Dynasty, also known as the Solar Dynasty or Suryavansha. For thousands of years, its kings have appeared in ancient texts, epic poems, and sacred traditions. Their stories are filled with courage, sacrifice, truth, and unwavering commitment to Dharma. But who founded this extraordinary dynasty? Were these rulers real historical kings, legendary heroes, or a blend of both? Join us as we journey back to the dawn of civilization to uncover the fascinating story of the Ikshvaku dynasty. According to ancient Hindu tradition, every great dynasty has a divine origin. The Ikshvaku dynasty begins with Surya, the sun god, who symbolizes life, energy, truth, and righteousness. Surya's son was Vivasvata Manu, regarded as the progenitor of humanity after a great flood. Ancient scriptures describe Manu as the first great lawgiver and the ancestor of many royal lineages. Among Manu's sons was Ikshvaku, who became the first king of this magnificent dynasty. Ikshvaku established his capital in the ancient city of Ayodhya, located on the banks of the Sarayu River. Ayodhya would later become one of the most celebrated cities in Indian civilization and remain the political and spiritual heart of the dynasty for generations. Because Ikshvaku founded this royal house, the Solar Dynasty became known as the Ikshvaku Dynasty. Ancient texts describe Ayodhya as one of the grandest cities of its time. Wide roads, magnificent palaces, beautiful gardens, prosperous markets, powerful fortifications. The city was said to be so well planned that enemies found it impossible to conquer. In fact, the name Ayodhya literally means the unconquerable. More importantly, the prosperity of Ayodhya was believed to come not merely from wealth, but from righteous governance. The kings of the Ikshvaku dynasty followed Dharma, the moral and ethical order that guided every aspect of life. Justice was considered more valuable than military strength. Over many generations, the dynasty produced numerous legendary rulers. Each left a unique mark on history and tradition. Among the most celebrated rulers was King Harishchandra. His unwavering commitment to truth became legendary. When tested by the sage Vishvamitra, Harishchandra lost his kingdom, wealth, and family. He even worked as a cremation ground attendant to fulfill his promises. Despite unimaginable suffering, he never uttered a lie. Today, his name remains a symbol of honesty and integrity. Generations later came King Sagara. He expanded the kingdom and performed the Ashvamedha Yajna, an ancient royal horse sacrifice that symbolized supreme sovereignty. However, tragedy struck when his 60,000 sons were reduced to ashes after offending the sage Kapila. Their souls remained unrested, awaiting salvation. The responsibility of saving his ancestors fell upon King Bhagiratha. He performed severe penance for many years. His devotion moved the gods. The celestial river Ganga agreed to descend to earth. But her force was so powerful that it could have destroyed the world. Lord Shiva intervened by catching the mighty river in his matted hair before gently releasing it across the land. The descent of the Ganga became one of the most celebrated events in Indian mythology. Even today, extraordinary effort toward a noble cause is called Bhagiratha Prayatna. King Dilipa became famous for humility and compassion. He believed that a ruler's first responsibility was to protect all living beings. His devotion to the divine cow Nandini became an enduring example of selfless service. King Raghu expanded the kingdom through wisdom and courage. His generosity became legendary. So great was his reputation that later generations referred to the entire royal lineage as the Raghu dynasty, or Raghuvar. Centuries later, the great poet Kalidasa immortalized this royal family in his masterpiece Raghuvar. Perhaps no ruler of the Ikshvaku dynasty is more famous than Lord Rama. Born to King Dasharatha, Rama is regarded as the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The epic Ramayana tells the story of his 14-year exile, the abduction of his wife Sita by Ravana, and the great war fought to restore justice. Yet Rama's greatness lies not only in victory on the battlefield. He became the ideal son by obeying his father's command without hesitation. The ideal husband through his unwavering devotion. The ideal brother through his loyalty to his family. And ultimately, the ideal king. His reign became known as Rama Rajya, a golden age marked by justice, prosperity, peace, and equality. For millions across the world, Rama remains the model of righteous leadership. The greatness of this dynasty was never measured solely by military victories. Its true strength lay in its values. Truth over deception. Duty over personal ambition. Justice over power. Sacrifice over luxury. Compassion over cruelty. The kings believed that ruling was not a privilege but a sacred responsibility. Their purpose was to protect the weak, uphold justice, and preserve Dharma. These ideals continue to influence Indian philosophy, governance, and literature even today. Was the Ikshvaku dynasty real? This question continues to inspire debate among historians. Ancient texts such as the Ramayana, Mahabharata, various Puranas, and Kalidasa's Raghu describe the dynasty in remarkable detail. However, archaeological evidence for many of its earliest rulers remains limited. Some scholars believe the dynasty preserves memories of early historical kingdoms that gradually became enriched with mythology over centuries. Others view it primarily as sacred tradition rather than literal history. Regardless of this debate, the cultural influence of the Ikshvaku dynasty is undeniable. Its stories have shaped the beliefs, literature, art, festivals, and moral ideals of South Asia for over 2,000 years. The legacy of the Ikshvaku dynasty extends far beyond ancient India. Its stories spread throughout Nepal, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and other parts of Southeast Asia. The Ramayana was translated into dozens of languages. Kings across Asia proudly traced their ancestry to the Solar Dynasty. Magnificent temples, sculptures, paintings, and dramatic performances continue to celebrate its heroes. Even in the modern era, the ideals of righteous leadership and moral courage remain deeply relevant. The Ikshvaku dynasty reminds us that the greatest rulers are remembered not for the size of their empires, but for the values they leave behind. The story of the Ikshvaku dynasty is more than the history of a royal family. It is a timeless journey through courage, sacrifice, truth, and righteousness. From Ikshvaku, the founder of Ayodhya, to Harishchandra, Bhagiratha, Raghu, Dasharatha, and finally Lord Rama, every generation added a new chapter to one of humanity's most enduring traditions. Whether viewed as history, sacred heritage, or epic literature, the Ikshvaku dynasty continues to inspire millions across the world. Its greatest legacy is not its crown or its kingdom, but its unwavering commitment to Dharma. If you enjoyed this journey into ancient history and mythology, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow history enthusiasts. Thank you for watching.